Hey, Conan O'Brien here, and today is a little unusual. Normally, this is the slot where I talk to someone in the world, a fan, and have a nice chat, and I really do enjoy those conversations. Today's a little different. Today is April 18th, which, first of all, happens to be my birthday. So far, no gifts.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
This is your gift.
Yeah, the gift this time. I'll introduce who they are in just a second. I'm very excited because today we are dropping 4 specials that I did for Max called Conan O'Brien Must Go. And the format relates to this podcast. How it works is I talk to fans, sometimes in the United States and often around the world, who listen to the podcast. And we decided it might be fun, as I'm chatting with these people in different countries, to maybe drop in on them and get involved in their lives and follow up on some of the things they brought up in their podcast interview. And so that's what the show is. Conan O'Brien Must Go is me going to 4 different countries, Norway, Argentina, Thailand, and Ireland, and surprising fans that talk to me on the podcast, and then getting involved in their lives a little bit, and then moving on and exploring the country.
Interfering.
Yeah. Joining me are some of the people who were instrumental in helping me make this show. Mike Sweeney.
Hello.
Nice to
happy
see
birthday. I can't believe you forced us together so we could just say happy birthday to you. Very clever.
Anyway, thanks for your help on the show, and I'm looking forward to my present. Jessie Gaskell.
Hi, Conan.
Thank you for being here. And Matt O'Brien, no relation.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Jason Chillemi. We call him Chills. These are the people that were sort of the nuclear core of helping me make this show. And now I'll let you all speak freely about what a genius I am. I've written these comments for you, and they're right in front of you. You can read them now.
We'll go in order of height.
But we go to 4 countries. The first one we went to was Norway, and then the second one we went to was Thailand. Then we went to Argentina, and we finally ended up going to Ireland, each time visiting a fan. And I was impressed. We did manage to surprise most of these people.
Yeah.
They didn't know we were coming. And so there was a lot of logistics involved in that, because you can't take a plane ride for 15 hours and go to a foreign country and then find out that someone's gone on vacation or moved. So
they're in LA.
Or just don't feel like being on camera.
Yeah. So we had to, Mike, maybe you could explain how we figured out the way to let them know that we might need them as a follow-up to their to their podcast interview, but not let them know that I was coming.
Well, Jason was kind of
Chills.
I apologize. Chills would have to, each fan was different. So some were like, I'm going to be here. We would just, Chills would reach out to them and say,
send out
hey,
feelers, yeah,
we sent out feelers, make sure they're going to be around. Then it was, we came up with a construct that, oh, you know what? We might be doing kind of a behind the scenes of some of our fans, and we would just send a cameraman there to shoot you for the day.
Shoot some B-roll, yeah. We loved your podcast interview with Conan, and we want to shoot some B-roll.
Right.
Yeah,
and we'd leave you out of it.
Right. Now, the problem is, and that worked for the most part, occasionally I would show up in a country and it would show up on their social media that I was around.
Right.
But then, Jason would probably have to put out the word.
Chills.
Sorry, wrong of me. Chills would have to get out the word that, no, Conan's in country, but he refuses to meet with you. Because he's an absolute prick. And that, just to sort of really throw them off the trail.
He's blocks away.
He's right, turn around. He's right behind
I'm looking out my window. He's 2 alleys from here. Yeah, but he wants to peek in your window, but he won't come in.
He shoots the B-roll himself.
Yeah. So, we, and again, one of my people have always asked me, what is it about these travel shows I like so much? I love that we can, there's not much we can control. And I've had many people say to me, well, that must be terrifying. And I find that to be liberating and really fun. We never quite know what the gold is going to be. And random things will happen. I'll bump into people on the street, like in Norway, who are just perfect comedy foils. We couldn't ask for better people. Or there's a scene in Norway where I'm on a boat and I'm holding something. I'm sorry, where I'm in Thailand and I'm on a river and I'm holding something that I've been handed, which is quite obscene. And just then a boatload of an American family goes by, and I quickly. But if you asked the greatest comedy directors in the world to try and manufacture that moment, it wouldn't happen, because I've looked at that scene, and you guys have looked at these things in editing a lot. The timing is perfect because it's an accident.
Yes.
Yep. Well, you lose your luggage. I mean, that was just something that made everything,
Yeah, I lost my luggage on one of the trips and had to go, and I went across the street, and I needed to buy some clothes, and right across the street there was an absurd shop that only specialized in making traditional costumes, Norwegian costumes that people wore like 200 years ago. And so
no one's ever bought one.
No one.
So I was so delighted.
They couldn't believe someone came into their shop.
Really?
No, and so I bought one, and then I walk out on the street, and the first guy I run into is just so happy to talk to me and tell me what an idiot I am, and not to be mean, but just to be very honest in a very, I'm guessing, Norwegian way.
Yes.
But it was...
Everyone there was very straightforward.
Very straightforward.
Like refreshingly matter of fact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not hamming it up.
And we had a really good time. The fans, to a one, were great. The fans were...
Yes.
Because one of the things that I've noticed, too, is there's that second where they're happy, excited to see you. Like, oh, Conan, you're here. That's cool. But then they very quickly are just themselves, which I like, because then they start giving me shit. They're not afraid to point out when I've made a mistake.
Yep.
And again,
just hanging out.
Yeah, they're just hanging out. And that was...
They were all funny.
They were all funny.
And smart.
Yeah.
They were just great.
And I think meeting them on their turf makes them feel a little more comfortable.
Well, often I think almost every time I go into their homes, with one or two exceptions, I surprise them, and then I go right into their homes and start finding things. And again, it's real, and it's in the moment, and it was really fun. And but I have to say, we've all, worked, done these remote shoots before. All of us have worked on them for years. One of the nice things now is we're working with Max, and they told us, we want this to look really great.
Yeah.
We got this incredible unit. We have these women are spectacular.
Emily
Topper
is our director of photography.
Yeah, and she's fantastic. And Emily Strong's doing sound.
Right.
And
Brenda.
Yes.
Is our second
Zuniga.
camera. Yep.
Brenda in when we were in Argentina, at one point I'm on a horse and we needed a shot, and Brenda grabs a camera and jumps onto a horse facing backwards with the camera.
Completely unfazed.
And gets the shot. And I thought, who are these three Amazons?
She was unbelievable.
Were kicking ass.
She's like, I've done this before. She goes, I'll just sit backwards and follow the lead horse.
Yeah, I'll just ride the horse backwards
with no hands.
Shoot you with no hands.
And we're all like, because we were like, do we need a truck, a flatbed? And meanwhile, she's on the horse.
Yeah, she's already up there.
You?
Yeah, I'm over here solving the problem, you idiots.
Well, yeah, and it's a great look.
They're
I mean, the
drones.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
drones.
We've never had. Sometimes we messed around with drones, but we got these really good drone operators in every country. And my thought was, a really good travel show should look absolutely gorgeous. And then all of the other ones teach you about the country. And it's very important to me that you learn nothing about the country.
That's your guarantee.
It removes knowledge.
Yes. If you had knowledge about the country beforehand and you watch my show, I do think you'll laugh, but you'll have it will erase any useful real knowledge about the country.
I love the drone operators in Norway. It was two guys.
Oh my God, they were great.
And they're like, they just did Succession, and we're like, wow, because a lot of Succession
One of them is
shot in
in
Norway.
Succession. Yes.
That's what I was getting.
Yeah.
Well, there's
When we
last
came back-
season. Just to remind people, the last season of Succession, half the season takes place
right.
When they go and
Skarsgård's character.
yeah,
Yes.
Skarsgård's
Norway,
character. I meet
yeah.
with him, and they're in Norway. So they shot there, and they had just worked on that when we
Right.
worked with them. And these guys, then I was like, oh my God, you just worked on Succession and now you're with Conan O'Brien. Like how the mighty have fallen. But they were great.
But there's
up
this
for
climactic scene and big scene in Succession, in this big yard, this giant
It's like a party. It's a
by a river, and I'm watching it, and then I see the drone guys, and we're like, oh my God, it's them!
They made it in.
And they're playing drone guys in the show.
Yeah.
But what was great is that they were salivating for us to come up with comedy ideas where they could pull off something really amazing.
Yes.
Right.
That was a joy. There was just a lot. I have to say, it can be very tiring. It's a lot of work to fly so far, and then we usually have to hit the ground running right away. But the minute we get out there and start talking to people, I mean, Ireland. We went to Ireland to visit a fan. And just anyone you bump into in Ireland is a professional comedian.
Right.
It's not their profession,
Right.
but they could be.
Yeah.
There's just something in the water
In the
there.
bones, yeah.
There are some hilarious people you spoke to in Ireland. The other cool thing in Ireland was you were walking down the street, and people were just like stunned it was you, and then they took their earbuds out and said, I'm listening to your podcast
Yes.
right now.
Yeah, I ran into people in Ireland who were listening to the podcast as I ran into them. And then this made me really happy. We were shooting something on the River Liffey, which is the river that bisects Dublin. It means cuts it in two, Matt. And but anyway, can
we take that out?
can you actually make it
Loop
play
it.
twice? Yeah, loop it. So anyway,
With reverb.
yeah. So anyway, I'm standing there by the River Liffey, and this cab drives by, and someone rolls down the window and goes, "There was talk of gerbils." And one of the catchphrases from the podcast, and I was so happy that my people left this country. I go back to the actual plot of land that my people had, that my great-grandfather had. We left in 1871 because, we couldn't make it there anymore, and went to the United States. And all these years later, I've come back, and my legacy is this obscene story about Mickey Rooney talking about Richard Gere having gerbils in his ass.
It lives on.
The O'Briens come back. There's talk of gerbils, I tell you.
Believe it or not, that came full circle.
Yeah, it really did.
I can't go into detail.
It was fantastic. And the other thing that I think was an elevation, I think people will like these, but because we got to up the ante a little bit with these and have this nice budget, we could do these set pieces with real costumes and go to real locations. So there's a lot of improvisation and me walking around in my regular street clothes being me. But then there are these set pieces that we wanted them, and we really wanted them to look like this could be from a movie.
Cinematic, yeah.
It's very cinematic. And of course, because we have Topper and her team, they were able to pull off the look, and we had costumes. I mean, Chills, you were a part of that, getting me, making sure that we had everything we needed in the country.
Right, fake mustache.
Yeah,
for
fake
the job.
mustache. I mean, I carry some with me, but the TSA is always
a pipe for every occasion.
Yeah, the TSA is always really suspicious when a guy comes through with 35 mustaches. None of your business. Let me through.
Ireland, we had a lot of facial hair, a lot of hair.
A lot of yeah. Oh,
we were smuggling it.
There was a lot of fake facial hair we shipped in, and costumes. And what's really fun is Scott Cronick, who gets the wardrobe together, always comes to my house
Fitting.
like 2 days before I leave for the country, wherever it is. and he'll come in with all this insane stuff. Options where I'm a Viking or a lighthouse keeper, or I'm a
soccer goalie.
I'm a soccer goalie. I'm a gaucho. And all these insane looks, and I'm a leprechaun and whatever. He's bringing all this stuff in and dressing me up in them, and invariably my wife will walk in, not knowing that this was going on, and I'm standing there, and she's just like, "Oh, Jesus."
Turns right around.
Role play.
This is what I married. Yeah, exactly. Every woman dreams of a sexy lighthouse keeper.
What a tower.
No, but just getting to recreate some of those, do those cinematic moments, which we haven't really had a chance to do fully before. It was so much fun.
Acting.
Well, I don't know if that's what it's called.
Different forms of shouting.
Yeah.
I remember the Viking makeup woman. It's like a 2-hour drive to this Viking reenactment.
Oh my God.
Center. And so I'm just thinking like, well, she can maybe start stuff on the bus, and she's like, no, we need to be in a separate room. I need all this space.
And she was
a real professional.
She was like, get away from me. Yeah. I'll make it happen.
Also,
but just get out of my way.
But I'll tell you something.
Do my job.
Yep.
I'll tell you something. It's the difference between all those years when we would do remotes and run and gun quickly, and the mustache would be in my back pocket, and I'd be in a van, and then I'd like slap it on and get out there, and makeup was done very quickly, if at all, and so this was different because we went into these travel shows sometimes with that attitude of we can just slap it on the bus, and these look good for a reason because they're saying, no. This is, you asked for something good. You're going to get something good. Sit down and shut up.
Yep. And it's, it's going to take 50 minutes to an hour to do it. But then when you got out of that chair, it was like, oh my God.
Yes.
Okay.
So worth it.
Fantastic.
I know that was a big swing that whole day because we had really insisted. We always worry when we've insisted on driving for 2 hours to get somewhere.
To make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always
the pressure. Every mile, there's a pressure odometer. Oh, the pressure's going up.
There's always the fear.
Also freezing cold and
It's the same adage of the longer the story, the more pressure on the punchline.
Yeah.
Right.
And if someone's telling a really long story, or sometimes one can get caught and you realize, this story I'm telling is really going on. God damn it, this punchline better. And that's exactly how it works when you're shooting a remote. If you have to drive for 3 hours, it basically is how much... In Europe, how much petrol did you burn? How much gas did you burn to get here? What was your carbon footprint getting to this place? And then it better really be funny. Right. And so especially sometimes we have lost that bet.
Yes.
Sometimes we've won.
But especially sometimes you roll out of your hotel with a crew and you're getting all this great stuff on the street. And then it's like, all of a sudden you're in a van for 2 hours. It's like, wait a minute, why are we doing this again?
Your muscles are cooling. And
right.
One of the things I'm proud of is the team that we assembled. People have done such a good job. I mean, unsung heroes like, and I know this, when people say, we're listening to you guys right now. This isn't like, you don't need to give a speech about everybody, but there are people like Matt Shaw, who did such an incredible job. So many people have worked really hard. The graphics look amazing.
Matt Shaw was our head editor. And basically, he had one other editor working with him, which I think is very unusual for something of this scale.
It looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
That the two of those guys.
Brad
unbelievable work. Brad Rowland.
And then
incredible.
I was thrilled about the mystery narrator we got for the show, we have a gentleman's agreement not to discuss. But most people that work with me don't want it mentioned.
Right. He was insistent on that.
Yeah. But anyway, I love it. I love it.
I've drawn up a contract.
Maybe it's AI. Who can say?
Or no one knows.
But I'm very happy, and I just basically, I always love those travel shows that we did in the past, and it felt like we had unfinished business there. And then when we had the notion that what I'm really passionate about now is this podcast. I absolutely adore doing it. It's really fun, and it feels like the natural evolution of what I was doing before, or de-evolution, whatever you want. But the idea that we married the two, meaning it starts from the podcast and then takes off into this world that I've explored before, but now there's a reason to go in country. I'm showing up and I'm visiting a pen pal.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, the whole thing has been really fun to make. And
and there's often a mission there too, because people have been sharing things about their lives with you on the podcast, and then you show up and it's like, oh, I'm gonna help you achieve this goal or fix this problem for you.
Yeah.
And then you maybe don't. Yeah.
Or just waste time with you.
Do you remember that dinner we had where you could choose from a prefix menu, and it was like the appetizer was cod, and then the entree was
all
cod.
different preparations.
Cod tongue.
they have a lot of, there's a lot of cod.
A lot of cod.
In Norway. They're very, very proud of it. And you specifically have to ask them not to put cod
Yes.
on your ice cream cone.
You have a
You have
cod
to say it's an
allergy.
allergy.
Yeah. Is this an allergy? Okay. So what kind of cod can we use? No cod.
We have hypoallergenic cod.
Yeah.
I have to say, Argentina, something happened in Argentina. I don't want to give away too much, but we visited our fan, who's a terrific artist. And one thing led to another, and it led to kind of a happening, which since then has gotten some traction online. And that's one of the aspects of the show that I really enjoy, is these little Easter eggs. We don't even intend them always, but in Ireland and in Argentina, we helped make something happen that ended up later on getting noticed by people who didn't know anything about the show.
Right.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's online and people are saying, why does this exist?
Yes.
And anyway, there's I just love the idea of traveling the globe and confusing people.
People who are really.
But I did. This is a true story, because the thing we did in Argentina, which the artist helped us create, we left behind.
Right.
And then I think it got picked up, and then it landed on some very prominent soccer blog.
Yes.
And it got a lot of traction, and it started to pop up everywhere online, and people were sending it to me saying, what's going on? What's going on? And I just
Did you approve this?
And I was kind of playing.
We were in Ireland. Like, it was while we were in Ireland.
We were in Ireland when it was blowing up in Argentina. And so with my friends, I was just saying, well, I guess you never know. I was playing it. So then I get a call, and it's Jake Tapper.
Oh.
who I know. It's Jake Tapper, but and I'm thinking, he's, I know Jake Tapper, and he calls me sometimes, and we both love Eisenhower trivia and shit like that. He's calling me, and I go, what's up? And he goes like, this thing in Argentina, what's going on? And so like any of my friends, I just played it off as, well, I guess you never quite know. And he went, no, cut it out. Really, what is it? And I forgot, I'm talking to a journalist. And he was like, what is it? And I went, okay. And I explained, and he went, got it. And then hung up.
It's like you're Banksy.
Yeah, I'm the Banksy of comedy.
That's right.
Only it's not worth anything. But.
And we had something made in Ireland that I just saw turn up this week in social media.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's a sequence in Thailand that I really love, where I'm roaming the streets at night. That was a very cinematic sequence where I've ingested some street food, and then I have a fever dream and
fugue state.
And that I'm not giving anything away, because you need to see that. It's quite strange. It feels like a weird,
gorgeous
foreign film.
Yeah. Well, and that one, my favorite part of that shoot was that we were going against Jeff's wishes, because he wanted us to get back.
Oh, Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross. Yes.
We had a dinner reservation.
We had a dinner reservation.
He's like, you'll be out there for like 5 hours.
Yeah, there was this one thing we wanted to get. And he was like, we have a dinner reservation. I'm like, Jeff, we'll go and grab it, and then we'll go to dinner. The dinner reservation's at 6:30. It took a long time to get.
And Matt's very common. He's like, we'll be done in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay. I'll set my watch.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen that before. Anyway, he was disappointed when we walked into the restaurant on time. You could see him deflate. Oh, yes.
The restaurant hadn't opened yet.
Yeah.
We're
not open for 4 hours. She was like, it's nice to sit here. It's a nice place. They have air conditioning. It was, I think
I helped them set up.
We were shooting, sadly, with global warming. This record will probably be broken soon, but it was like the hottest it had ever been in Thailand.
108.
Yeah.
And we were shooting and we were out on the street and there's a part where I'm kickboxing and we're not inside in an air-conditioned gym. We're in an outdoor facility with no air conditioning. I'm no spring chicken and it's my birthday today. So let me tell you, I'm only getting older. And I am throwing kicks, punches. I'm going as hard as I can. And at one point I stopped and I asked Jeff Ross, do we have a defibrillator? And he was like, what do you mean? What do we need a defibrillator for? I'm getting a restaurant reservation. And I'm like, because I could go down.
I'll make sure the restaurant has one.
I was sweating so much during that segment.
I'll make it a smaller reservation.
And yeah. Well, that works.
Let me know.
They don't have a table for 5, but they have a table for 4. That works out great. You guys happily eating while I'm in the morgue.
More family style for each of us.
Yeah. He's gone. We might as well enjoy.
We got enough of the boxing, right? To at least. Okay,
oh my God.
we'll
That's
still make it.
The funniest thing is because writers always want, can you do something again? They always want it again. Can you give it another shot? What if we do it from another angle? Because
I mean professionals.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Professionals, obsessive compulsive professionals. But if you're doing something, it's always cracked me up when I'm doing something, especially at my vintage, and I'm just wailing and kicking and punching, and it's 108 degrees, and I'm jet lagged, and and people are like, "Ha, that's great. Okay, let's do another one where we put more
rehearsal.
We put more lead on your boots."
There are a few times too where it's like no one's yelling cut.
No one's
I know.
And it's just kind of,
He's just going through a training session.
And you finally just go, okay, I think we got it.
Yeah. That was
we put you through the physical ringer in Thailand.
Thailand was
Thailand was a workout, but I have to say I do come home from all these countries, well, specifically Thailand, because in some of the setups I'm getting I'll go to someone who makes great original Thai costumes, custom, and they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I put them on and they're in the show, and then they come home with me and they're mine.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And then I'm thinking, I'll sometimes look in my closet and I have 2 pairs of chinos, 2 pairs of jeans, some t-shirts, some of the nicest Thai
silk suits.
And I don't know where can I wear these?
Yeah.
I don't know where to wear them.
Like a Viking today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember you bought those knit pajamas in Norway. It was like a full body.
Oh, I've worn those.
Have you worn those?
Because it does get cold in LA, and I put them on once, and I came downstairs, and it's so funny. I just look like a giant
onesie,
a giant stuffed animal. Boy, those
they're beautiful. They're hand knit.
They were hand knit, and they're the warmest, most comfortable things I've worn in my life. But you know what? Those sock monkeys. You know those?
Yeah.
I look like a sock monkey when I put them on with a red pompadour. Not even, because there's actually a cap you can put on too that just isolates your face. I should just wear that and walk around LA until someone photographs me.
They'll think that you're...
I'd lost my mind.
Kanye, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, exactly. I should wear that and then go up when Kanye's next out with, what's his lady?
Right. What's her name?
Yeah.
She dresses in a very provocative manner.
Yes.
Anyway, the next time those two are out together and she's, wearing something with no butt on it and he's just wearing an REI tent, I'm going to run up I'm going to photobomb them dressed as a giant sock monkey and put my arm around both of them and see if I can get that photo out there.
Kanye is taking a second, Brad.
That'd be a great promo for this show.
Yes, got to get the word out. We need stunts, publicity stunts. Conan, what are you going to do? I've got this knit thing I can wear and I'll find Kanye.
You already have all of Kanye's fans in your pocket.
You're right. Talk about redundancy. Yeah, total overlap. You like Kanye? You'll love this show.
Do you get to enjoy yourself on these trips? Because it is work.
Hey, thanks for finally someone asked me a question, which makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
I wanted to give you a chance to talk.
That was my gift.
This question.
Yes, here you go. No, but seriously, because it is, you know, we like you said before, we hit the ground running and then it's nonstop till boom, we're back to the airport. So
if I think that what we're making is funny, I am like a kid at Christmas.
Right.
I'm very happy. And I really do love the camaraderie. I have to say, Jeff Ross is not wrong. When we have worked hard all day and I think we have good stuff in the can and then we go out to dinner, I love that. I love that feeling of, I think we've found something today and I'm happy with it. And now we can debrief and we can sit and we're in this exotic country.
We're eating Italian food.
Yeah, no matter where we are. Remember, we went to Armenia once for a travel show years ago, and Armenian food's really good, but it's you know there's a lot of chicken. It's very good, but we kept
Stuffed
going
grape leaf,
things like that, and so we kept having that over and over and over again, and it was really good. But then I remember there was one night where I was like, well, we got to break this up, and we found out there was like a small mall in Yerevan and an Italian restaurant.
There was basically the Grove.
Yeah, and we went to the Grove in Yerevan.
The one in Glendale.
Yeah, and then ordered pizzas, and we were just like, oh, this we're being the ugly American. But for the most part, when we're in country, I have to say, we shot something in Dublin where I go looking for Bono. I'll just tell you that it's called Searching for Bono, and I go looking for him in a park, and it's a I don't think I'm giving away too much, but it's basically a wildlife section of the documentary. And we had so much fun shooting that. I was giggling the whole time.
Great.
And then everyone had great ideas. And Jessie, you were an impetus behind this.
That's right.
Jessie Gaskell. And then we all started thinking of different, and I just kept thinking of fun ways to make it sillier and stupider. And I was just in heaven the whole time we were doing that. And so to answer your question, I have a lot of fun doing these. There are times when I get run down, or there were times where we're someplace and I think we're not getting it. This isn't it. This is going to show up on the edit room floor. And those can be dispiriting, and long van rides can be dispiriting. I think I have a hard time in a van because I'm very kinetic.
Right.
And when someone says, okay, that was great, now get into this very small space and sit in the back and don't
sit in traffic.
And sit in traffic
in the dark.
And we'll poke you in 4 hours and you need to be at
hit the
ground running. I have a hard time with that. I think you have.
Matt has some great photos.
Matt has photos of me having a nervous.
You just losing your mind.
I lost my mind in the back, and I'm doing crazy bits, faces. I'm just basically having a complete psychological meltdown.
The courts are going to want those from me someday.
Yes, that's fine. You can,
and it's in this
area. No, the New England Journal of Medicine wants them. but we had such a good time for the most part on these those. I find those moments just drift away. I completely forget those moments. And what I remember is the fun. And I remember the fun of, and everywhere we go, I mean, the people were in each country were uniformly just such a great sense of, they seemed to be happy with what we were doing.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
And they seem to like that. I don't know, the joke is usually on me, and they're cool with that. Right. And it's fun to just go and explore the comedic rhythm in each country, and it's different in each country, but they're all funny in their own way.
Right.
And they're not afraid to give me a hard time, which I love.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that you can go outside of Los Angeles and there's just hilarious people everywhere. I mean, we're working at more.
Guess what? Yeah. They're not in LA.
That's why you go on these trips.
There are other places and they have normal jobs. And they're just, happy to meet somebody, meet a stranger and have a nice interaction. Or maybe they know you from TV. And
they're very...
they're kind of unfazed by the camera.
I know.
Yeah, they're very unfazed by the camera, and they're just so happy to go with it. Mm-hmm. And they all seem to pick up right away on, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong with this man.
Butt of the joke.
Yeah, something's wrong with this man, but he seems harmless. And
it is amazing how everyone...
I think I could take him.
Yeah. And that was an old lady. That was an old lady in a wheelchair. I could take him.
Wheel me over to him.
Yeah. It was really fun to make, and just a pleasure. It makes me and you know what? I haven't. It's an interesting process because we go and we shoot them, then we come back. You guys do these rough assemblies. Matt Shaw does like these rough assemblies, and then you guys go in, and I've always said the way we approach these, whether it was a remote for the old late night show or the TBS show or travel shows, it's like a chef doing a sauce. Mm-hmm. Cook it down, get the reduction, add some more broth, cook it down, cook it down, cook it down, cook it down. We just keep cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and having different screenings and reducing it. And then you get to this final part and you look at it and
it's all flavor.
It's
yeah. Ooh, it's burned at the bottom.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say it was a good sauce. All I meant was that it was short. Yeah. In my analogy, it's just that they're shorter.
It's broth.
Shorter,
it's still broth.
Dense.
Yeah. Still dense, very salty. Your doctor recommends you don't have it. It ruins the taste of the food you're eating.
It is fun to see the number of hours you start with of footage
and
then know that you're cutting it down to under an hour.
And then even when you think you can't cut anymore, there's still some you can cut.
Sure.
Yes. And it was even in the finishing room when we would watch the final finished cut. It was like we all had just one little second here, But I think that
I was
normal.
showing a clip. I went to South by Southwest and I showed a clip from a segment in Ireland in the gas station that got this big laugh in this giant room, and I was very happy. And then I just saw the clip went on for a couple
milliseconds,
a couple
denouement,
a couple of seconds afterwards, and the crowd was like, okay. And I'm up on stage. Thinking, why is that still in there? And it's like, no one was thinking about it. It was a second for someone to just take an inhale, but I was like, why is that there?
It's a palate cleanser for the home viewer before they jump into the next section.
We want people to be laughing continuously with no pause.
So you know what I love? The show over themselves laughing.
Exactly.
You know what I love too? Anyone listening to this who checks them out and goes, this is nothing but fat. These people are like patting themselves on the back. We reduced and reduced and reduced till, and then they're watching it and it's just...
Was the stove on?
This should be 4 minutes.
There was no heat. Oh yes, leave it on another 10 hours.
Because there are comedic...
They shut the gas off 6 months ago.
There are bits where the joke is that there are bits where the joke, wherever country I'm in, is that I just keep going and I refuse to stop.
Yeah.
And I could see anyone listening to this or any reviewer saying, what are they talking about?
I saw some trims.
That idiot. Anyway, it was...
We'll chop this out.
Don't worry, this will be boiled down. This will be boiled down to a lean 60 minutes.
Land ho!
Well, I was wondering. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was there.
You know what? You're a curious person. Maybe you have a question.
Yeah. I think people might want to know how we landed on the countries that we went to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's interesting. It's like you're looking for, it's like these two circles and you're trying to see what's the best place where they intersect, meaning talk to people around the world, and some people seem like, oh, I got to talk to this person. Like, for example, Jarla in Bergen, Norway, who just... He's this sweet kid, to me anyway, he's a kid. He's like 22 years old, and he's telling me, and he's the whitest kid I've ever seen, and he's telling me he's got a hip-hop duo with his friend in Bergen, Norway. And so there's part of me that's naturally curious, and then it's, if he had been in Trenton, New Jersey, I would have said, okay, I don't think that's a show, but he's in Norway. And I think, yeah, Norway. I want to go there. So basically, is the fan interesting and seem fun? And am I intrigued? And is it a country I'd like to go see?
Yeah.
And so if you can satisfy both of those, then I'm on my way. But, and we've had some other fans too that we just, they asked for 4 specials, so we did 4. But there are other fans around the world who've got some very intriguing stories. So, if...
Well, and there's a lot of other criteria, I mean, just in terms of what is it like to get film permits there? And can you quickly, can you quickly film things?
Exactly. There are countries where it's more difficult to get permission. Also, another thing, we've just learned things over time, but sometimes we're more ambitious about traveling within a country, and then you realize you do want to do that, but if it's a vast country, and let's say you went to Australia and you wanted to make sure that you did Sydney and Perth, but you also wanted to go up to the Barrier Reef, and you also wanted to get into the outback, you realize that breaking down camera equipment and shipping it around, you're burning time.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure that you make the right calculations. So yes, get on a plane and travel within country, or get on a train if you really think you're going to get something good. But if you're zipping around too much within a country, you just lose days.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a cost.
It's just figuring these things out. And I one of the things that is fun, it's fun and interesting, is we sit around, and Jason's a big part of this, but we'll sit with, and we'll talk to Chills, and we'll say, this is what we're interested in. And then we have these conversations where we have a map of the country, and we have lists of comedy ideas we could do, and
itineraries.
Literally like a yarn going from one pin to another. And we're like, okay, so we'd have to go, 210 miles to get this gag. How much do we love it?
Right.
And then we all get into it. And then sometimes we say, you know what? It's not that funny. It's not 210 miles funny. And sometimes you think, I think it is 210 miles funny.
And you're on to me. I lie. I'm like, I think it's a 50-minute drive. And you're just like, fuck
drive.
you.
Yeah, that's my commute home.
Right.
It's my commute back to Brentwood, asshole.
2 hours and 15 minutes.
But I love, it's the making of these things. I like to make things. I like to make things with smart, funny people. And I've enjoyed working with you guys as well.
Happy birthday indeed. Happy birthday indeed.
And he wonders why he got no gifts. No, I sincerely, we have a great crew. Chills, we've been doing this together. Chills has been with me on every adventure going back to Finland.
Right.
And Mike.
And Mike.
Yeah.
You've been with me since the beginning. Before that, because the first one was really Ireland, a million years.
1998.
Yeah.
Or 99.
I was there for that too.
You were there for that.
Chills went on that too.
So
that was 2 days. We were there for 2 days.
We shot everything in 2 days.
We have a good crew here, and we get a lot of help in each country.
And that's important too.
Ral and Jennifer and Maritza and Marcella. Like all their teams.
Amazing.
It's phenomenal.
That is worth mentioning, is
Keith
that
and Bernie.
We need to, when we go to another country, we can only do so much. And then we have to find what's called fixers, people in country who say, you don't want to go here, but you do want to go there. Yeah, people say that that's funny, but it's really
offend people.
That's gonna, don't do that. That's actually against the law. You can't urinate in that rare book library. Conan pees in a rare book library. I thought was a natural. But
you can't do anything on this list.
We hit one in every country.
Right.
Yeah. Those people are invaluable.
Yeah.
And what's funny is we meet them. We always meet them at the airport or right when we get to the hotel. Yeah. And then there's this second of how are we all going to get along? And then very quickly, you can see that they take our temperature, we take their temperature, and then we're off. Yeah. And we get really close to these people. Yeah. And we owe them a lot. I mean, they're a huge part of how these shows work.
Well, Chills picks on, and you get it. You'll say
You do a vibe check.
You do a vibe check.
Yeah.
You go,
Yeah.
I talked to 3 people. I think it's,
Yeah.
I think this is the one. And
And then you make best friends. I mean, you stay in touch with people.
Well, he also has affairs with them. Chills has children in every country.
Whatever it takes.
I know why he picks these picks. I like this one. She didn't seem that great. Oh, shut up!
She's never worked in show business.
And they're all
doesn't
women.
speak English. No, anyway, it was, I enjoyed the doing of it. And then it's just extra sweet that we get these shows out of it, and I'm excited for people to see them.
Me too.
Me too.
I think,
Yes.
and we have shown them to a bunch of people we really trust who like them, who have full permission to tell us this is shit, and have in the past told me I'm shit, but I have a good feeling about it.
I laughed so hard during editing that I went into labor.
That's true.
That's
That
right.
is true.
And you weren't even pregnant. That's the crazy part. A baby came out. You made a
it's
baby. You laughed so hard.
That was my favorite
People need
behind
to
the
be
scenes
very
story.
careful.
Yeah, behind the scenes story is
We're all hanging out in the conference room one night.
during the making of these shows, you
I got pregnant.
which I think involves sex, and then
Chills.
and then
We'll explain it to you later.
yeah, it's crazy that was part of this process. It was happening
in the
alongside as we were making the shows because the shows were delayed by the writers' strike. So otherwise, we would have made these a lot sooner. But
And you would have never even known I was pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but what was really crazy is at one point we're in editing. And
I was 37 weeks pregnant.
You were laughing really hard in the edit, and we were joking that this laughing
I was
would induce
peeing my pants laughing.
would induce a pregnancy as a joke, and then we all get a photograph in the morning of
7
you.
a.m. in the morning.
7 a.m. in the morning of you holding Dottie.
Baby,
Yeah. Not your baby, another baby. No, of you holding Dottie. And it was like the joke the night before.
I know. I was like, they're not going to believe that this is real.
I thought it was a prop baby.
Yeah.
I really was like, oh, I'm peeing my pants laughing. And actually, my water had broken.
Right.
At work while we were there.
Oh, wow.
But you've been using that excuse for years.
I
just wet myself because of a baby.
Water? Yeah.
And then she disappeared for 2 months.
Yeah. No, that was.
Oh, that made me so happy.
Well, Dottie's the. We got 4 shows and a baby.
Yeah.
Out of that. We got 4 specials and Dottie out of this.
Well, we actually got another baby from a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the show too.
Yeah.
So look for that. Anyway, Conan O'Brien Must Go. We like them.
We cooked them down.
Yeah, they're coming out, dropping right now on Max. 4 episodes, and
Go watch now.
Yeah, go watch now, and we hope you have a good time.